Men don't need much, bro. And you know what? After you've done it all, the watches, the cars, I've drove every car that I wanted, bought every car that I wanted, every watch that I wanted, went first class. There's not much to do. You actually want most things less. Don't get me wrong. To go back to economy would suck. To go back to a small crib, especially now that I have a family, would suck. But watches, minkia, don't care. Cars, don't care. Most of the shit, don't care. Whereas before, I thought, I've got to tick it off the box. I need the Lamborghini Urus before 30 in Perth, Western Australia, because I need to be the first person in Western Australia under 30 in my circle that has the Lamborghini Urus. I need it now. After 3 weeks, I'm like, bro, I can't be fucked. I want to go to Miami, sell it. You know what I mean?
Nothing in the mall makes you happy in 5 years.
Even 5 days.
Yeah. So, okay. You know, there's a tool to combat analysis paralysis because my friends got it. And the tool is basically at the end of the day, when you finish working, you write down what you need to do tomorrow. That seems to work for him because it connects today to tomorrow. So he doesn't chase his tail tomorrow doing nothing. So he goes, okay, I did this today. What do I need to do tomorrow? I need to follow up on this. I need to follow up on this. I need to build this. I need to do this.
Right.
That way, there's tools. There's all these tools that you can use to combat these.
Huge fan of that. I do something similar. I have my non-negotiable things for the next day that are written down, but then there's another long list. They're bonus tasks. So if I get the motivation to do a bonus task, I'll do it, but I won't kick myself.
Yeah.
Whereas the non-negotiables are getting done unless I'm in hospital.
Yeah.
And I'm more of the shoot for the stars, land on the moon type.
Yeah.
I'll set this big list of things, but those three are just, they're not that hard to achieve.
But you're in a position that you can shoot for the stars and land on the clouds because you've already made it. But if you don't make it, if you haven't made it, then it's like yours. You almost want to take the easy win just to make sure it's a win, and then level up, then the next level, and the next level.
You're right. I do become lazier, and it does become more about wealth preservation than it does wealth acquisition. But depending on who you speak to, if you looked at my portfolio, it would be considered by most TradFi guys as hyper aggressive, bordering gambling. So I don't know, it's in the eyes of the beholder, I guess. But look, earlier on, I just don't think people understand what I was willing to do to at least make the first 5 million. After 5 million, it's kind of like, eh. But the first 5 million was so important to me that I could not have conversations with any friends, any family around me, because they all considered me picky. What's the word? I was annoying to be around. Most people in my circle said, why are you so obsessed with having a maid to be able to do your chores? Just fucking put the clothes in the washing machine, bro, and then get them out in 15 minutes. It's not hard. That was their mindset. To me, there was no way I was going to ever waste time cooking, cleaning, doing mindless chores because it would divert my attention away from what I wanted to build or even just leisure.
Be creative.
Be creative. Content creator doesn't have to make money. And because it was debilitating for me to live the way that, you know, my friends and family were doing, and, you know, all respect to them, I just had to get it. And I'd have easily risked my life, 30 years in prison. It wouldn't have mattered. I'm so lucky. I say this. I'm so lucky that Bitcoin made more money than dealing cocaine. Because if I was in Australia right now, stuck with nothing to do, and someone goes, yeah, mate, just go to the fucking mines, you get 200 grand a year, you pocket about 120 of it, but then your lifestyle costs about 90 grand a year for a little mouldy shitbox, you get 30 grand at the end of the year, put it to your mortgage, mate. Within 30 years, you're on your merry fucking way. And your pension by 65, I think, no, I'd rather fucking literally die, bro.
That's
literally.
That's not living.
That's slavery.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to prison.
Yeah.
Literally. So many of my mates have been to prison, and I'm thinking, it's not that bad, bro. Like, it's shit. It's fucking shit. But you at least took a risk, bro. You know what I mean? You at least took a risk. And I don't know what the next future has. And I'm definitely not promoting crime, because the richest people in the world are not criminals. So there is something to building a company or something, but not in Australia unless you're within specific industries. If you're in mining, education, real estate, okay, fair enough. I understand it. But for most things, you will get strangled by the government before you even start. It's not about thinking positive. It's not about saying Australia is a free country. Get that delusion out of your brain, mate. Look at how most people are living. And so geo arbitrage would be the only way for me. Otherwise, risk prison. That's it, literally. And I'm saying this from a point of view where I don't want you to do that. I want you to get wealthy without being a criminal. And there's obviously ethics to discuss here as well. Do you think that being a cocaine dealer would be a good idea for society? Obviously not. I'm just saying that if you don't have that mindset that you're willing to do whatever it takes, I don't think that you're going to get it, because you're competing against people like me. Minimum. Then you've got nutters like, you know, these manosphere guys worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Look at Andrew Tate. Can you imagine going against him? Let's create the playbook. I'm not trying to put myself down, but let's say you're going to go against Andrew Tate in all of these areas, business, manosphere, and you're going to poke the bear. He's going to get up every fucking morning thinking, how am I going to take this cunt down? With all my resources, all my contacts, all my friends, everything. I'm going to attack this cunt to the point where he's going to not be able to sleep an hour at night. And there's so many cunts like that, bro. When you go to Miami, you meet these people. They're obsessed. They only want to talk about business. And I think it's going to be fucked to be your competitor. You're going to win because I know you don't do anything after work. While you're sleeping, you're thinking of your company. So if you don't have that relentless interest, you're fucked. It's the same with gangsters, bro. A lot of these guys, they used to come in to Perth. They think they can be kind, like kind drug dealers. And then these guys who have been there like, yeah, I see that you're kind, bro. Give me the kilos and the cash, eh? And then they get a threat. They don't consider the threat seriously. Boom, done. Because these people are relentless for territory, relentless to be top dog. So if you're a gangster and you're not willing to go the whole way, someone will. So that's just my little rant there on that.
I want to watch this booing video because I haven't seen it. Can we watch that?
The what?
The booing video that happened today.
Oh, it's not worth looking at.
No?
Nah, it's not. Everyone's seen it. In a nutshell, an Aboriginal guy, I believe, he looks like a half caste, and he does a speech every year. I believe he did it last year. He had 1 or 2 boos last year. He says that before we begin this morning service, we pay homage to the people that were here before. It's my father's land, basically insinuating that we're all on stolen land here. This is not your country. And he's not really beating around the bush either. And then he gets a heap of boos, obviously from white people. All right. There isn't much to talk about. This divide between the Indigenous Australians and the white Australians, it's been raging on ever since settlement. And it'll likely be that way until the government just says, listen, there's one flag. It's the Australian flag. It's not the Aboriginal flag. It's not the Torres Strait Island flag. This is who we are. That's it. Otherwise, the discussion or the beef will continue. Now, to be honest with you, it's really just a few boos. And then it's over. People forget about it the next day. They are a minority, the Indigenous people in Australia. And of the Indigenous people, a lot of them don't care at this point. They don't give a fuck. It's not that big of an issue. You're not hearing about Indigenous people committing fucking terrorism and shit. It seems like a big issue because people boo about it and argue about it, but mass scale violence is not really a thing. Yeah? But it's not good for the unification of Australia. Now, I suggested that if you really wanted, create a new flag. If you really wanted to create a society where everyone felt that they weren't left out, you'd create a brand new flag. But again, that would then, piss off the conventional Aussie, and it would just probably end up more of the same thing. You can't do that in societies where there's too much multiculturalism. Because deep down, the Aboriginal people don't consider themselves Australian. Deep down, the Indian people don't consider themselves Australian. And you're always going to have that. And the Muslims, they follow Sharia law before they do your Western democratic law. Not all, but some of them do. And they're not shy about it. This is not me paraphrasing. I'm talking word for word. There are clips out there on the internet. Sharia comes first. Simple.
Yeah, I didn't see that. But I mean, white people are booing an Aboriginal?
Yeah. Because he said that we're here on stolen land, basically. He insinuated. My father's land. Barangara people or something. I couldn't pronounce it.
It's just broke people shit.
It's low shit.
Do you want to talk about the war? Because there is breaking news, and I don't think you've seen it either.
What's the breaking news?
U.S. envoy Witkoff and Kushner heading to Pakistan tomorrow for negotiations with Iran.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call that breaking news, bro.
I mean,
They've done this, what, twice now?
1 hour was the first time, by the way. They got Trump on the phone 12 times.
And got nothing done. I would be betting, if I was a trader, that the negotiation does not end up with an outcome that GCC states and the US are happy with. Because Iran's demands are clear as day, bro. They are not going to accept. And if they do accept, unfortunately for our brothers over there in the UAE, it's not going to be good news for the UAE. Now, this is less discussed. Remember, we discussed that most people are not Machiavellians. They can't see 10 steps ahead. Bro, I want this to be true. You know, I want to say the best things about how Dubai is back, the GCC is unaffected. And I would not be ruling out the UAE. That's not what I'm saying. But the unfortunate nuanced answer is that the ceasefire is considered an uncertain time. And large capital investors, many of them, not all, are not going to consider the GCC as a place for foreign direct investment until there's certainty. If the Strait of Hormuz is closed, even if it's reopened tomorrow, even if negotiations come to an agreement where there's no more missiles being thrown at one another, if there's a lingering threat over the UAE or the GCC states that Iran may play up again or the US may invade Iran again, then capital investors are going to think about the next 5 years and 10 years, not fucking 5 days. People celebrate too early, bro. Bro, I'm seeing it right now in Dubai. I'm seeing the legacy media, people are coming back to Dubai, it's done, we're back. Bruh, can you give it a bit? Can you at least give it a bit before you celebrate? Oh, really? Have you seen this shit lately?
Of course.
I'm like, no shit, the flights are back, bro. It's a ceasefire. The flights are back everywhere. There's no missiles being thrown, cunt.
Can you give it a bit?
Just give it a bit, mate, before you
bit?
celebrate prematurely. Relax.
Everybody wants answers now.
They want answers now.
Conclusions.
Oh, man.
Now.
Delayed gratification isn't a thing with most people. Now, I understand when legacy media throws these things in the space, because the truth is, you want the truth from me, guys. I love my brothers over there in the UAE. And I'm not saying that in a way that like sounds kiss-assy. I'm saying that in the sense that after 11 years in Indonesia, I did not form relationships with Indonesians like I did Emiratis in a year. I didn't. There is a closeness in the UAE that I have that I don't have in Australia, where I grew up my whole life. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of these brothers over there in the UAE have hyper successful businesses, and I'm not going to say who, obviously. And they all told me, brother, don't listen to what you see on mainstream media. As far as tourism goes, it's fucking dead right now. Okay? Guys, okay? Does that mean that people have stopped investing in real estate? No. A lot of people are picking up dips. Actual sales numbers are probably very similar. But if you think you're going to get bamboozled by some influencer that's telling you it's nothing, it's back to normal, everywhere's packed, you're fucking delusional, bro. It's not. I'm not getting this report from one friend, two friends. I've got many clients that are there right now. I have a residency there. I'm giving you the honest, in the middle truth. Have your friends reported to you something similar?
Yeah, my friends have said it's quiet, and it should be. There's tensions increasing, so people should be wary. And I think Dubai has had such an amazing run that it's kind of good that it shakes out some of these guys that came that even the UAE people didn't want there. So it's going to make a V-shaped recovery. When? I don't know, but Dubai is too strong to fail. But yeah, and look, we're going to summer. No one really goes there. Like, you know, all the Emiratis even, they go to London and everything like that. So I think see the summer through, see what happens with negotiations, and then it will come back for sure. It's too big to fail ever. That should never be in the discussion.
And why? Do you want to talk about economics? Why? Should we get into some objective?
Go. Take it away.
The reason why it's very unlikely for Dubai to fail is twofold. It's multiple fold, but we'll talk about two things. Now, Dubai is part of the UAE and Abu Dhabi is part of Dubai. And Abu Dhabi and Dubai have their own sovereign wealth funds, and they reinvest surplus in their economy into other assets around the world. So for example, Dubai and Abu Dhabi invest in American tech companies. That means that even if the GCC is shut down, they're making money as a means of those investments within their sovereign wealth funds that are investing in industry outside of the UAE. Okay, that's number one. Now, their sovereign wealth funds are massive. They're not trivial. I believe it's number 3 or 4 in the world. We're talking about trillions here. Okay, that's the first thing.